Is it one of your favorite things about Phil Laak, his capability to surprise?
Yes.
I mean, no matter what you expect, he just never produces what you expect. He can, you know.
Oh wow, he has the flush draw here. Oh man, top two.
Top two.
Oh, the only better card than the 9 of clubs instead of the 7, and this is about as much action as you can get.
And I guess the real question is
seat 7 check.
Well, I was going to say is how fast Seaver wants to play it.
Oh boy. Okay. Well,
because Seaver might have fast played that on the flop, you know, check raised and tried to get some money in.
I love this. I love the bet. I love Vanessa's hand. Vanessa's probably going to peel. With this board, Phil's in there peeling, drawing dead.
He's in big trouble here.
Yeah, a lot of times when it checks around and the first person to bet the turn is usually bluff, just has nothing. So I think Phil's going with that train of thought here, and he's thinking, I can get an 8 to fold. I have overs if they has like 8, 9 in calls. I mean, this is catastrophe. Scott, I have a feeling Scott will call and check. Whoa, the very ever so slight head shake.
Brilliant.
He knows Phil is a live pro. Phil's watching him out of the corner of his eye. The very subtle thing. He's not raising, he's calling.
Now, in Seaver's mind, it's really hard for Laak not to be drawing dead here, because how can Phil have an ace here? I mean, would Phil have checked an ace 3 ways on the flop?
He just called, right?
Yeah.
This is
you know what I'm saying? I mean,
he knows where he's at.
Right.
He knows where he's at.
He knows Laak's drawing dead.
He knows Phil probably doesn't have an ace like 90% of the time. Oh god.
No.
If Seaver,
oh my gosh! Vanessa would have made the full house.
Yep, she's killing herself right now. She literally wants to go jump, but she's gonna be so happy because this will be shown. If he lead, he's gonna lead. So I don't think he thinks he has a flush because he wouldn't think Phil would check that back. So he's gonna lead and he's gonna get called.
So he actually thinks that Laak might have been making sort of a blocking raise with like 10s or jacks, trying to get to a cheap showdown.
Phil's just calling here. He's not raising. The board's paired. He has a second nut flush. Phil thinks he miracled the river here, and he's going to be very upset. This is a nightmare. Vanessa is the happiest person in Montreal right now. Look at her.
What a cooler! What a cooler! It's almost like performance art. Scott Seaver, of course, what a huge spot for him. He bageled heat number 1. He needed a good showing here. He's now chip leader.
Go back and forth to LA too.
Making that much money from the poker.
Raise 700.
Moved to.
Not really from poker. I'm throwing away my money in poker.
Oh, okay.
That's nice. Pass.
When I can't find the fish that day, I become it for this. For you guys.
But that's a word you hear all the time here at North Cyprus Party. I mean, this place.
Alexi, you want to take my money?
Suit number 5.
Go ahead, Alexi.
Call.
No, you got to get it back from somebody.
The Crystal Cove, famous for the player parties. I was at the one last year. I think they had flown over a bunch of DJs from America for it. It was out on the beach. Fairly crazy.
Suit number 5. Check. Suit 7. Bet 1,200. Suit 5. Call. 1,200.
You can't bluff, Alexi.
So Pelteki's made a continuation bet here. He raised pre-flop, and Ruben is just sort of like, he's in there trying to get him off this pair of eights.
Check. Check.
That's a huge action card.
Yeah. That's for you.
That's the action card. Gosh, I kind of feel bad for Pelteki.
How deep are they?
Sit 5. Bet 2,500.
Well, Ruben's let out. I mean,
please let me have the ace of hearts.
It'd be weak of Pelteki not to raise, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
I know I have an ace, but I'm not sure if it's the heart or it's not.
He's never putting Ruben on a set because of the way he played it on the flop on such a draw-heavy board. So I wouldn't think he ever has a house. So I'll definitely raise.
8,000.
Call.
Sit 5. All in.
This is gonna be ugly early for Robert Pelteki.
Pull.
Oh my God!
He cannot believe his eyes.
What? Holy crap! What is this? Are you serious?
I mean, the Devilfish has raised this under the gun, and Gerasimov is just called. He's not working out. There's no getting people out. Wow. Everybody's called.
Family pot here.
Wow.
Hey, there's no. Oh, there is a muck. There's the muck. There's the muck. The muck is over there. Give his hand.
But you know the good news? I'm the only guy here who knows exactly what I want to catch. All you guys don't know what you want to catch.
Oh my goodness.
5, 8.
Those prophetic words.
Wow.
Jeez, I've never seen
Check
this
it.
hand.
Check.
Fish was giving the speech just as it came down as well.
Just beautiful.
1,000.
And he just bets right into it. I mean, you know, he does quite well here. He's just going to go for it. You can't blame him a bit about what's about to happen, really.
Cool.
I mean, the fact that there's no king of hearts on the board, I guess, saves him a little bit at the end.
He's got to be a little bit worried about that, but he would just go ahead and bet and bet and bet until.
What's the worst card in the deck for you?
Did you see how Gerasimov?
I don't know if there's a good cat in the deck now. You call.
No, no.
Guess we'll have
Obviously
to
aware
find
that
out.
it's a 5-way pot.
A black 3 would be
probably going to be some big hands out there.
8.
Well, maybe an 8. You might be on the king of out draw. I can't give you 3 cats.
You just know that as soon as he realizes he's snake bit, he's just gonna go crazy. I don't really remember.
2,000.
Oh, he has been
You
running
gotta
down.
understand as well that I don't know what I've got all the
a
time.
little bit. He's winking. He's so happy look right now.
You must have a raggy ears, huh?
Okay, just because you say that.
Wow.
Cool.
He's literally so happy, isn't he? The fish.
He really
He's
is.
whistling.
6.
Don't do it, fish. Well, yeah, of course he did.
You can show me now. Last time you showed me this position. Show me. It makes it easier if you show me now.
So unlike Yuha to be doing the
Table
little
talk.
chatting.
He doesn't do table talk, does he?
He was in a really good mood this week.
I mean, he moved it and then he stood up. That was the most animation I've seen.
That'll make the usual
So easy when they've got the nuts.
That's incredible. That was absolutely incredible.
I had to get a bit of stick. I gave him plenty. It's come good though. It's come good.
Those green
You might
chips
actually
are
get on
$500 each.
4,000.
On
But dude,
MTV.
those are 1,000
Call that,
chips.
I'll show you.
So the fish has got like 30,000 back.
You all with a big sigh.
Raise.
Wow, is this a cold deck? Is this a cold deck? I usually get cold decks down at this place every now and then.
11,000 more.
I usually get the cooler in on me down here. That's how they get my money. I got the queen flush.
And cool.
Deuce 3 of hearts. That's what I thought he had. That's 3 of hearts.
Wow. You're feel for the fish there, aren't you?
Cooler to put on me in this place.
He never seems to
Straight
run
flush.
good. What's the most interesting card?
10 of hearts.
Oh, wow.
Check.
Will Peter get paid off if he bets?
13,000.
Yes.
If JC can make this fold, will
Well,
you?
he can't.
No.
I mean, that's the first thing.
Cool.
He might be able to fold the river depending on what comes. But that's a straight flush for Peter.
Check.
Oh my gosh.
25,000.
And obviously that diamond made Tran now a flush. So, what would your thought process be here if you're JC?
You go back through the hand. You know, Peter checked the flop and bet the turn. Did he bet it on the draw?
Straight flush.
Straight flush.
Maybe got a bit spicy with 9-9. It's just electing to call now with jacks. Ryzyankov has been fairly tight recently. He did try and put pressure on earlier, but it's been fairly tight recently. So against his range, just calling with jacks there is absolutely fine. And then small blind from Giacomo, called with 9-6 of clubs. interesting there, considering we've had an under the gun raise and under gun +1 call, and big blind of Who completing with 6-3 of spades. Very reasonable there by Who.
Ryziankov with the second nut flush draw.
But top set for Sabu. Just a bit of pot control there by Ryziankov. Checking. He knows that his hand still got a hell of a lot of equity. Just allows him to see more turns and rivers for less chips.
Well, well, well.
There it is. So, second nut flush now. We've checked Sabu's bet and we've called. Check again. Sabu checks and... ooh. So it could get interesting here. If you're Ryziankov, do you lead, right? Because if Sabu was betting with the ace of diamonds, you'd expect him not to, ace of diamonds on the flop, you'd expect him to bet again on the queen. So really the only hand that we're losing to now would be either Jack Queen or Jacks.
Obviously losing to the ace of diamonds as well, but I don't think the ace of diamonds ever raises on this river, and checks back turn as well, as you mentioned, after stabbing on the flop. So yeah, I mean, a few combos, we are just going to have to side fold, and I think Ryziankov going to be more than competent to fold. And yeah, a snap fold there from the Belarusian.
Snippety snap fold.
Yeah, doesn't even think about it.
It's the guy who knows when he's good and when he ain't.